What is up guys, Daniel here and welcome to another video. In today's video, I'm gonna be sharing with you guys a little bit into my study workflow on my iPad. So ever since I got my first iPad, which was an iPad Air 2 back in 2016, I've been slowly detaching myself from the stranglehold of pens and paper and like heavy laptops, a strained back, all in an attempt to make my life a lot more simpler, a lot more mobile, and most of all, just carry less stuff. Another thing that kind of pushed me towards this all iPad lifestyle is because at the time, I owned a pretty potato laptop, and it's even more potato now. It can't handle more than 2 Chrome tabs without freezing. Its battery life is like 30 minutes or less. Yeah, it really needs an upgrade, but I haven't because I felt like the iPad has been able to just carry me forward in life. And as a result, I've stuck with the iPad and it has become my main powerhouse for everything I do. I've gone through a lot of tribulations, a lot of experimentation. I feel very confident to share with you my iPad study workflow using just these 3 apps: Notability, Goodnotes, and LiquidText. Let's dive in. Alright, so first things off, let's just get the boring stuff out of the way. Let me just give you a brief overview of what these apps are and the price. Yeah, because 2 out of the 3 are actually not free apps. Let me explain. So Notability and Goodnotes 5 are basically note-taking applications that support both annotated text as well as typed text. And LiquidText is a PDF reader on steroids. I'm gonna tell you why that is later on, but it's really cool. Notability is, I think as of this video, $8.99. Goodnotes is $7.99, and LiquidText is free to use, but if you want a little bit more features, the app is actually $30 on one-time purchase. While I have paid for the pro version of LiquidText, I've been using the free version 99% of the time, and it's pretty good for what it is. I wouldn't think you would need to upgrade unless you really need the extra features. So in total, you'd be spending about $47 up front to own all these 3 apps. And it might sound costly, but if you think about it in the long run, I've had these apps for over 5 years now. And imagine spreading out that $47 across 5 years, you're basically paying nothing to own it. And what's good about it is that even up to this day, it's just getting new updates, new features that make it overall a much more better experience and even more powerful than it was, back then. If you think about it, how much times are you buying notebooks, buying pens every year in preparation for school? I'm pretty sure that all that money will add up to $47 or even more. So having a always digital permanent notebook that has pens that never run out of ink, I feel like it's a no-brainer. But wait. Daniel, you said Notability and Goodnotes are note-taking applications. You're probably asking yourself, why am I coercing you to pay for 2 note-taking applications? Isn't 1 enough? Why would I need 2? And you might be right about that. Both of them are able to do basically, what a note-taking app should do, right? But like everything in life, nothing is perfect and there's always some form of weakness. The 2 note-taking applications, they cater to different situations. In an ideal world, I'd probably put these 2 note-taking apps into just 1 app, and it would be the most perfect note-taking app in the world. Alright, so without further ado, let's dive into the iPad here, and let me show you the ways that these apps really shine. So I use Notability for anything that requires me to be on my toes, run and gun style. And that means any lectures where the professor is like doing his or her own thing and like isn't really waiting on you to write everything down. Pretty much any situation that requires you to be fast and like not really thinking about a lot of things, you just want to get this stuff jotted down, Notability is the way to go. The first thing you see when you open up Notability is basically the organization structure, right? So Notability has a no-frills organization structure. The way Notability handles organization makes it very easy, instant, and logical. So when you first open up Notability, you see a sidebar right here on the left. As you can see, the document management is very straightforward. You can make dividers, which are these with the arrows. These dividers, they hold folders, or basically subjects. So for example, in this doctor divider, I have different folders or subjects like internal medicine, surgery, gynecology, pharmacology, and all of that. And as I tap into each one of these folders, you can see that they hold notes. And that's the basic organization structure, right? Very simple, very hierarchical. The organizational structure can be a little limited when compared to Goodnotes, but for run and gun, it's perfect. The next thing I want to talk about is the infinite scrolling. If I were to open, let's say, let's go into surgery, yeah. I was writing notes on this, right? Infinite thoughtful scrolling means that I don't have to stop and create new pages. As you write notes and you go near the end of the page, another page appears, and so I never have to skip a beat. So let me show you that real quick. I'm on the last page, but as soon as I start writing something, right, a next page appears, right? Just to show you again, you see I'm at the end of the page. I'm just gonna write something, and bam, another one comes up. That's really great, so you never have to think about adding a page. It just keeps on scrolling. And what I also like is the pages, they kind of mesh into each other, so I can actually draw something from the first page straight into the second page. Another thing I want to talk about is audio recording. Yeah, Notability actually offers the ability to record audio directly within the app while writing notes is a game-changing feature, and it's so much more useful because while playing back the audio, it allows you to see the handwritten notes animate so that you know what prompted you to write it down in the first place, which is a game changer for all students and forgives you for not being able to catch all what the lecture says at the moment because you can listen to it later. And I'm just gonna go up to here, as you can see, press it, and it automatically initiates audio recording. So let me just write something. The quick brown fox. Oops, if I can spell correctly. Fox catches the worm.
Officer, I got one question for you. What are those?
Right? When I'm done, I just have to tap this thing again, and it saves it. When I click the little arrow is where I could initiate playback. So I press it, and I can press play. I can change the speed of it, 1.25, 1.5, 2 times. I can skip forward 10 seconds, skip backward 10 seconds. You can trim everything here as well. It's fairly complete. And now when I press play, it automatically initiates audio recording. So let me just write something. The quick brown fox. Oops, if I could spell correctly. Fox catches the worm. Right? When I'm done, I just have to. Right? As you can see, as I play the audio, the text quickly animates to let me know that was the point at which I heard it and that was the point at which I wrote it. And so it makes studying really cool. And what's cool about it too is you don't have to follow this playback linearly, right? You can actually tap on the word and it will start the recording from where it was. So if I wanted to start from catches, I can tap on catches and it would play back at the spot that catches was written. So catches the worm. Brown catches the worm. The quick. In Notability, you have access to a favorites menu. So if I go to the pen here, as you can see, the favorites menu pops up. You can hide it by pressing the X. At the bottom left, there's a star. And basically it allows you to hold at least up to 13, I believe, of your favorite tools. And that's so good in a run and gun situation to be able to switch between different pen styles instantly. You can basically save 5 different versions of the same pen just in different colors, or different versions of highlighters in different colors. And if you want to edit them, you can tap it, you can edit them. And let's say you want to remove one, you just tap it, and right here you'll see the remove button, you just remove it. And let's say I want to add a new pen, so let me check my pen. Let's say I want a dotted pen and I want it to be pink, right? Once you have it, just tap it again and make sure you press this favorites button, right? Once you do that, it drops right into your favorites toolbar here, and it works amongst both of your documents. If I write here, I won't be able to write here. I need to tap it to invoke it to be the active one, and then I can tap it again. You don't have to worry about what pen you had on this side. They all share the same thing. The last thing I want to talk about for Notability is it has a special form of multitasking. You can open 2 documents side by side within the app itself, and it doesn't follow the iPad OS version of multitasking. It kind of has it built in. Let me just open Goodnotes real quick. Alright, so this is what happens in normal multitasking. So you just drag up from the bottom, you tap the same app again, and you slide it, and bam, you have 2 apps at the same time. And then you can open a note on one, and then here you can probably open another note, and yeah, you can just do what you gotta do, right? You can even open a third one in slide over, right? Let me just open another document real quick. You can have 3 documents up on the screen at once, like that. But in Notability, it doesn't work that way. See, if you see it just doesn't work like that. It doesn't work. In order to do it, it's a little bit cumbersome because you have to slide from the left, right, like so, and you enter the note switcher. And as you can see, it shows you your recent notes, and you can search for a specific note. I don't use this very often because a lot of times I can't quite remember what title I gave my notes, and so like I wouldn't be able to find it. I would have to go back, go and find the note. And at this point, if you click it, you're no longer able to see the note before. And then I would have to slide from the left, go back to the recent switcher, and open the note that I was using before. As you can see, as I drag it out of this little carousel there, I can automatically get the note. What is up, guys? Daniel here, and I am out at a Wi-Fi park. I was just using the internet, and I realized there was an update for Notability that now, allows you to do multiple windows. And so apart from the original way that I showed you, you can now do it the same way as Goodnotes and any other iOS app that supports iOS's multitasking menu. That's all I wanted to plug in for now. Using the bar in the middle, I can resize it and all of that. What's cool about this is you can actually combine this with the iPad OS version of multitasking and kind of form a 3-note layout. And if you resize this here, you can actually have 3 equally sized notes, which is pretty cool. Goodnotes is my go-to for when I actually have a lot of time on my hands, for longer writing sessions, such as when I'm writing or preparing my summaries of the textbook or different topics that I learn. Basically, I use it when I want to sit down, take my time, and do some intentional note-taking. I use Goodnotes. This is how your documents are laid out. As you can see, it is quite different than Notability, and in some ways, in many ways actually, it's a lot more superior. When you open Goodnotes 5, you'll see a list or a grid layout. So I can change it to a list layout, or I can use a grid layout. It displays all your notes, folders in a quick and easy to read format. Right? Document management is very powerful in Goodnotes, and that's basically due to the sheer number of customization and tweakable options that it contains. It can get pretty overwhelming and it might slow down your writing process at first. Hence, I like to use it when I'm not in a rush. You have your folders, you have your notes, and inside each folder, see, I have folders for every year of my medical journey. So if I go into 4th year, I go into my subjects. As you can see, you can have folders within folders, and then like gynecology, a lot of stuff here. Some are just standalone PDFs, some are actually notes, and I just have a lot of stuff here. Really gives you a lot of flexibility in terms of how you want to organize your different documents, and it kind of resembles more of a file system in some ways. The next thing about Goodnotes is that there's a lot of customization. When you create a new document in Goodnotes, just press new, you are quickly asked if you want it to be a notebook, a folder, an image. You can scan a document straight into here. You can take a photo, you can import from other places, and you can do a quick note. Create a notebook, you're brought to this little menu where you can choose the cover for it, the type of paper. For example, if I want a cover, I can choose a cover. Alright, let's say I like this green one here. I can choose the type of paper. Right? You can use black paper, you can use dotted paper. There's so many types of paper here that it really makes Notability seem really lacking. Right? You have Cornell if you're into that, legal paper, accounting, monthly planners. You have so much templates in here. You even have music sheet. You can change between the paper sizes, A4, A5, A6, letter, tabloid, paper color as well, white, dark. You can change it all. You can change the orientation, so if you like it in landscape, as you can see, or portrait. You can even change the language that you're going to be writing in. This is useful for when you're searching, converting your handwriting into text, right? So yeah, you can also give it a name. So let's call this lull. And once you're happy with all of this, you just press create and bam, it creates a note. But what I usually do, if I'm like really strapped on time, I just double tap the new button here and it just creates a new note. So like this, bam, new note. And then I'll rename it later and anything like that. Goodnotes also has a larger variety of pen style. You can use fountain pen, brush pen. Another thing I like about Goodnotes is the ability to have each page autonomous from each other. Let's say I'm writing on a page like this, and then on the next page, if I go here, I'll add the page. I want something more landscape, right? Maybe I want to draw something. So if I tap on that, look, I now have a page that is more portrait orientated, and then I have another page which is more landscape, and each page is autonomous from the next, meaning it's not affected, like the theme doesn't change. If I go into Goodnotes real quickly, you see this note? Let's say on this last page, right, I want to change the theme of the page. Let's see how to do that. Go to this 3-dot menu and I'll tap paper. Here are my options. Obviously it's not as much as Goodnotes. If I change the paper, it changes the theme of all the pages in the document. That's not what I want. Alright? Especially if I want to change, let's say I want to do graph paper because I'm about to draw something graphy on the next page. I tap that. As you can see, the last page turns graph, but it also graphs the pages before. So that's what I mean about autonomy of pages. Look, this is lined. This is clear. Let me add next page. Let's say I want music paper afterwards. There you go. Music paper afterwards. So each page is different and autonomous from the next. Another cool thing about Goodnotes is built-in support for flashcards. You can create flashcards within digital notes by writing the question on the top half of the page and the answer on the bottom. And when the flashcard review sequence is initiated, the app will present front half of the card and the users can tap the screen to see the back half. This flashcard is a new feature in Goodnotes and I haven't used it as much. I probably should. In order to invoke the flashcard, you go here, add a page, scroll until you see this flashcard template. Now tap it, and now as you can, I don't know if you can see it, but faintly, there's the question part, and then there's the answer part. So let's just put a random question. So I'll put, what is my name, right? And then the answer part, I write Daniel, right? So basically you need to have this flashcard template page, and then it will detect that it's a flashcard in this document and quiz you. I go to my three dot menu, and then I tap study flashcards. If I tap it, as you can see, it shows me all of my flashcards on it. And as I tap it, answer, see? I assume if I had more, it would show more. And the final thing that I want to talk about with Goodnotes is it has tabs. Like, the interface is laid out so well that like it's just easy. Whenever I'm reviewing for my exam, I just use this app just because of the tabs. I have tab view of all of the documents that I need to study, and then I can just go between each of them. Kind of almost like if you were on a browser and just reference stuff. So for example, let's say I'm reading here, but then here has a bit of information. I can easily go there. The tab interface is nice, really helping you when you want to try to study a particular topic and you want all the documents neatly in their tabs so that you can reference each. And it's especially useful when you want to group tabs together. By using the multitasking menu, you can have, let's say, a tab interface. See, so now I have tabs here that could be of some theme, and I can have another tab interface here. And you can easily move tabs within each other. So let's say I want this one on the next side, I can drag it and just pop it in. And if you wanted to, you can open a third instance of it. And then from here, just open up more stuff. The possibilities are endless. So check this out. I have two tabs here, three tabs here, and a whole bunch of tabs here. Like I said, LiquidText is a PDF reader and annotator on steroids. And it's been the best way to read anything PDF that I've come across in a very long time. You can use it as a powerful research tool. It's the fastest way that I've come across to be able to just pick up a digital document one time and make meaningful notes that I can refer back to later. And so if you always hated reading PDFs on your laptop screen or just any tablet or phone in general because you thought it was too passive and you couldn't interact with the page that much, this is the app for you. So as you can see, this is how LiquidText is laid out. Of course, you can change between list and grid view. Each folder can contain different documents. So the basic premise of this app is to be able to, call out and really analyze the things that you're reading. So for example, in medicine, let me open up ophthalmology, right? As you can see, it looks like a simple PDF reading app. But what really makes this stand apart is its workspace. If you tap this and you scroll to the side, you can see that we have something that resembles a workspace. And it's on this workspace where notes, ideas, excerpts, images, and connections can be, formed. Let's say I'm reading something here and I kind of like this image here. I can basically grab it, right? And with it selected, I can just drag it onto the workspace. If you pay for the pro version, you have access to the pen, and you can start annotating over it. You can even make links with different documents like that. And let's say, for example, I'm lost, right? As we all are when we're reading PDF documents. I want to find this image again. No longer will I have to painfully scroll through this just to find where it is. I just tap this little arrow here and it takes me back to where I found the image. And this is a major game changer. I was reading about exploration, right, of the eye. I can quickly tap it and it takes me back to the page where it was on. If I want to read about blepharitis, I just tap that and it sends me back to that. And just this basic dynamic between flipping and quickly finding where you found stuff in your book, it really promotes active reading, and like it makes gathering notes and excerpts frictionless. You can do it by just pulling out references as you read and dropping them onto the workspace. It really allows the user to organize the workspace as they prefer, making notes, connecting them. Every note and idea can be connected to others, and like as I told you, a single tap can show you the context between each. So another thing about LiquidText is its ability to kind of improve reading PDFs. For example, let's say I'm reading on treatment, right? But I remember I read something cool a couple pages before this. Before, you would have to just scroll up over here, okay, read this thing, go back down, and that's kind of tedious. But with this, you're gonna hold one finger here, and then your next finger up here is gonna scroll. So I'm holding it now, right? And with my finger, I just zoom in like that. Look what it does. Now I can read the treatment and a couple pages before it really easily. And I can just do this. Or if you hold this one steady, you can flip between this one. And that is real game changing if you want to like be able to properly read your book. Another cool thing about this app is its search functionality. So like you can easily search anything here. Let's type Oho. Search. On the right, it shows you all the instances of that word, as well as you can actually go next and just see everything is highlighted in yellow and it just keeps going down the list. This is extremely powerful. I know a lot of PDF readers that don't get this right. And the last thing I want to talk about, let's just go back home, is the ability to open all types of files. So not only does it work with PDF, it can work with PowerPoint, web pages, Word documents, and you can get stuff like from pictures. Like as you can see here, I can open files from the Files app, right? I can open a web page. If I had internet, it opens up its own little browser where you can just type in a website, and then once you press import, it should import it as a PDF directly into here, and you can start working on it. You can open a picture if you want. You can scan documents similar to the other apps. Alright guys, so in summary, if you want to treat your note-taking app like a quick place to jot down important notes and ideas, Notability is probably the winner here. The streamlined, no-frills approach is perfect for people who just want to open the app and get started quickly. With Goodnotes, the app has great aesthetic and comes with a ton of customization features that'll probably have you customizing for days. If you're likely to be working in the same space for a while, it makes sense to customize everything to your liking before you settle in. Goodnotes, with its plethora of options, makes your experience feel unique and personal, making it a great app for taking your time note-taking. LiquidText is an amazing PDF reader because it doesn't follow the usual PDF workflow, but instead is engineered around the idea of reviewing long PDF documents better. It combines a document manager, document reader, note taker, and mind mapper into one coherent app that will forever change how you read and digest complex documents. Hopefully now you understand why I use these three apps whenever I do anything that is study related on my iPad. Each app has its own strengths, and it also has its own weaknesses where it flops completely. And so the combination of all these three apps really unify the studying experience, and it really helps elevate your productivity when it comes to studying on the iPad. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you got something out of it. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and all of that jazz that YouTubers tell you, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.